You know what time it is.
No regard for human life.
Bless up. Bless up.
Give me a hell yeah. Ah! Turn the fucking dead zone. Turn the fucking dead zone. Turn the fucking dead zone. Turn the fucking dead zone.
Arm the laser.
I'm in the laser! Begin laser ignition!
Fucking business trip.
Deuce and Mo, Deuce and Mo, Deuce and Mo. They tell you what they know. Deuce and Mo, Deuce and Mo, Deuce and Mo. The podcast that you know. Deuce and Mo.
Deuce and Mo, Deuce and Mo, Deuce and Mo. They tell you what they know.
Do it for Deuce and Mo. Deuce and Mo. Hey. Do it for Deuce and Mo. When it comes to the Kings, it's my favorite show. Do it for Deuce and Mo. Deuce and Mo. Hey. Do it for Deuce and Mo. When it comes to the Kings. Big hopes and dreams as we cover our kings. Never cover the kingdom, but we loving our kings. And we covered your prayers as we doing our thing. Big Deuce with the par, Lil Mo on the screen. Solo or together, still do it for team. Never switch up for $1 or revenue stream. So we always got each other, balance out the beam. Deuce and Mo, and that's the end of the thing. So do it for Deuce and Mo. Deuce and Mo. Hey. Do it for Deuce and Mo. When it comes to the Kings, that's my favorite show. Yep. Do it for Deuce and Mo. Deuce and Mo. Hey. Do it for Deuce and Mo. When it comes to the Kings. Yeah. What up, Deuce?
Hey, what's up?
Hey, Morgan.
Hi.
I'm rooting for y'all.
We are live!
Go Kings.
What a night it was.
Deuce and Mo.
The beam is lit in Sacramento.
Yeah, it is.
And so is my jacket. The jacket you guys all love.
Wow. Wow.
Appreciate you guys being here tonight. How about a
Jacket.
Kings win? It wasn't the prettiest of wins. They're not going to be pretty in all 82, but guess what happened tonight?
They got the win?
You're two all-stars. I said two all-stars said, let's go, guys. We're not making threes tonight. That's fine. We're going to take over. We're going to dominate them inside. We're going to get into my midi game. De'Aaron Fox looks special tonight. Sabonis was feasting on whatever the Spurs threw his way. Malik Monk comes in and says, hey, I can help out a bit too. Barnes hitting a big shot late. And the Kings are 29-21 on All-Star Announcement Eve.
Don't you
How
do this?
are we doing?
Don't you do this before the pod? Don't you do your
Woo!
looking a little puffy?
Am I?
Yeah.
You know, it just let me take this off. It's just
Oh.
a little hot in here. Yeah.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh. There's just another jacket. And it's purple and sparkly.
Oh.
How did I not see this coming?
Oh, how are we doing tonight, everybody?
Wow.
Look,
When did you get that?
tomorrow is a big day, and you gotta dress for the occasion sometimes.
Wait, this is going to be your all-star jacket?
It might be my all-star jacket. This is my look. You say the jacket's too flashy to wear the whole show. This is it.
No,
What do you think about this look,
not
huh?
flashy at all. Ooh. It looks like fashion.
A designer jacket. You're gonna criticize a designer jacket that I had
Who's
made
the designer?
for me.
Who are you wearing? Deuce Mason. Deuce, who are you wearing tonight?
Giorgio Giorgino.
Giorgio Giorgino.
Yes, Giorgio Giorgino. It's
Wow.
look, and it's you may not know the name,
No.
but it's a name that's on the rise. And
I love that about you. You're
Yeah,
supporting
I'm just trying
young,
to-
up and coming
Yes.
fashion designers. Giorgio Giorgino. I love it.
How's it look?
You know what? I'm going to be honest with you.
Yeah.
It looks really good with your hair.
Christy says Deuce can make any tacky jacket look sexy.
Oh, come on. Now we're just going to like boost his ego far too much.
You can borrow it, sure, Shiesty. If you're in the chat, by the way, the biggest thing you could do to help this channel continue to grow, we are literally less than 400 away from 10,000 subs. How great is that? Make sure to hit the thumbs up button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. We have a lot to talk about tonight. I'll take it off.
Are you
I know,
sure?
yeah.
I was hoping for like
I'm
a
not-
turn on the effing Jets kind of.
This might be,
That
I
is
don't-
like very
I don't
Elton
remember. Do you have the
John.
lyrics? I don't have the lyrics.
No,
I
you didn't even save the
They're-
lyrics to
they're
your own
somewhere.
song.
I don't know where they are.
Oh my god! I can't.
All right, chat. How are we feeling tonight after this Kings win? They won 119 to 109 against the San Antonio Spurs, who now have lost 7 in a row. The Kings, meanwhile, well, back-to-back wins now.
Yeah.
How's everybody feeling about it?
I mean, okay, feeling okay.
Okay.
Yeah. I want to talk about it.
All right. Well, let's give some love to the people watching us live. Make sure to spread the word. And also, let's give a little roll call time. Shout out to a ton of people in the building, including Trevor and Torch and Fast Break Podcast. Don't forget about Minnie Lamb and Trevor Adams. Shiesty's in the building. We can't forget about Paul and Christy. Oh, Landon. Hi, Landon. What's
What up,
up?
Landon?
Jason, Christy H. Homer James is here. Efka is in the building. Donated $2.52. Greetings from Ireland, they say.
Wow,
Appreciate that,
thank
man.
you.
Appreciate the love. And we got Ness. We got Adam Nostalgic. Nolan is here with Nick, Jasu, Jataro, Jay Hurdaway, and L Train. Don't forget about Jonathan. What's up, man?
Hi.
Sato's in the building with Jay Scott. Tina. Say hi, Tina.
Hi, Tina.
What's up, Benny? Rich Live. Oh, Adam. Appreciate you guys all
God,
being
you
here.
guys are
Tyler,
the
Casper,
best.
Gabrielle. Appreciate you. Securing the beam. Patrick. Tom, always smile on the sun. What is up, AVP? It has been a while. All right. Let's have some fun.
Woo!
Let's get to it.
Give me a hell yeah.
Hell yeah!
Do some Mo coming down. 3, 2, 1. Hit my music.
Deuce and Mo. Deuce and Mo. Deuce and Mo. They tell you what they know. Deuce and Mo. Deuce and Mo. Deuce and Mo. The podcast that you know.
Welcome into the Deuce and Mo podcast. Recording this on a Wednesday night. If the Kings get back-to-back wins on the road, this time over the San Antonio Spurs, 119 to 109. Not knocking down threes, but tonight was about the All-Stars. Domantas Sabonis, De'Aaron Fox, I think on the cusp of maybe being named to the All-Star team. Either way, they're all-stars in my book.
Oh.
They were monsters tonight,
Wow.
both with 30-10 games. The first set of teammates to do that in the same game for the Kings since never. It's never happened in the Sacramento era.
Ooh.
Domantas Sabonis with 34 and 11. De'Aaron Fox with 31 and 10 and some big plays late. It wasn't easy, but the Kings beat the Spurs 119 to 109. I'm Deuce Mason. That's Morgan Reagan. How you doing, Mo?
Fantastic, actually. I changed my mind. I was doing okay. I'm doing great now. When you give a little recap and really put a different spin or perspective on it, you're like, yeah, this shit was great tonight, and I'll take it. And I know. You want to know why everyone's like feeling the way that they're feeling, though, actually?
Yeah.
Because everyone today, including you.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be a win today.
No. Everyone today, do not interrupt. Everyone today, including you, got cocky. Got to the point where they're like, hey, this will be a game that Matthew Dellavedova gets to play, huh? You like at the water cooler talking about, yeah, maybe they'll even get Deontay Burton in there, huh?
I made some jokes early. Yes, I did do that as a joke.
And I'm not only saying you, though. I'm putting you in this group of people that I've seen and heard and everyone. And it's like, yo, you guys, this is still the NBA. We got to tap the brakes. And this team still has so much to prove. Hey, either way, like you said, the angle of this one, you had your two all-stars putting everyone on their back and saying, I got you guys tonight. Keegs, you can't make a shot from out. I got you, bud. Kevin, no, don't worry. I got this. That's what happened tonight. And I still love to see that type of leadership. What?
Was there a moment late in this game when you ever felt like it was in doubt? Because for me, I'm going to be honest, I wasn't concerned. Look, this happens in the NBA. It's 82 games. They didn't play perfect tonight. They missed a lot of shots. They missed a lot of threes tonight. They were just 8 of 27 from downtown, but they went, this Spurs team can't defend us in the paint. We're going to change it up. We're not just going to settle for threes. We are going to make sure we are playing our game. We'll do it in the mid-range. We'll attack the basket. And they did just that in this one.
It wasn't about being concerned late in the game. It was about these are the type of games that we want to ultimately get to that spot where it's, you get to rest your starters. You get to rest your guys because it's still a long season ahead and you want a postseason. The Kings aren't there yet, and that's okay, but they're learning how to get there. They're evolving, growing, developing in this season to ultimately get there, but they're not there yet. That's all.
I mean, they had a double-digit lead, and they still won by double digits. 119-109. It wasn't perfect at all. I thought the Spurs got a little too many easy looks inside at times.
Yeah.
There's still some defensive breakdowns, but to me, this is what I'm focused on tonight.
What are you focused on?
De'Aaron Fox played one of his best overall games this year.
Facts.
And I'm going to start with the defense.
Okay. Oh, okay. Oh, his defense. Yes.
Because De'Aaron Fox's defense has been trending in a great direction.
Agreed.
This is someone who I thought coming out of Kentucky had all the tools to be a great defensive player in the NBA. It hasn't translated. We've seen glimpses of it. We've seen moments, but it wasn't until this year that we've seen a different level of engagement. We talk so much about, hey, protecting the rim, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I agree with that. But you know what you also do? Point of attack. We hear it all the time with coaches. He's the head of the snake. I want that guy to be engaged defensively, and he has been fantastic. He is trending in a much better direction, and it's huge because he's been such an offensive-minded guy. The Kings have had offensive-minded coaches. There's not a lot of pushing on defense besides go play defense.
Yeah.
It's getting the motivation. It's getting this guy to be inspired, to be locked in and night out, no matter who he is going up against. And tonight, I felt that from De'Aaron. And I felt that in the last Minnesota game. He has been bringing it defensively, and that's probably the biggest development in his game that I have seen this year. We've known what he could do offensively.
Sure.
It's what he is doing now defensively.
And he's doing it more and more consistently, right? He's doing it night in and night out, and it's something that's making an impact on the game, which is great to see. I love everything that we saw from De'Aaron Fox tonight. I thought there was just so many moments throughout the game, and then you come into the fourth quarter when it's, oddly enough, now you just have this pure confidence, like, De'Aaron will handle it. De'Aaron's got this one. He's good. He'll figure it out. He'll make sure to close this one out. That's why I wasn't ever scared about the Kings losing this game, especially there in the fourth. And I think someone else was mentioning like Morgan wanted the team to win by 50. No, I wanted a good basketball game tonight. It was everyone else today that wanted this team to win by 50. And I was the one that was going to be okay with this team winning like this. And when your 2 stars, the all-star reserves being named Eve.
Thank you. That was really smooth. I like that. Yeah. The All-Stars being in the hands too. Like,
yeah.
I don't know where
having
I'm going.
this type of night before the All-Stars reserved are named tomorrow. It's just great. It's one more reason why you get to be like, yeah, these 2 definitely All-Stars.
De'Aaron tonight had 31 points. He had 10 assists. He did it on 13 of 23 shooting, 2 of 4 from downtown. He was 3 of 3 from the free throw line. He also had 3 steals in this game, tied with his old Kentucky mate, Malik Monk, who also had 3 steals in this one. We'll get to Monk in a second. But, yeah, I mean, Fox's defense has just been really encouraging. And I think if this team is going to improve, like Mike Brown and really everyone wants, it's going to be him bringing it consistently. You're still going to get beat. It's the NBA. It's going to happen. I get all that. But his level of engagement, his physicality, he's talking a lot more defensively. He's just talking a lot more in general. And I just love seeing him grow into what I thought he could be a few years back.
Totally.
Like, dude, everything's kind of clicking for him, man. Like, the shot looks better. His midi game.
Oh, it's just
What jumps out
dominant.
to you when you're seeing him?
When I'm seeing him, just like you said, in the mid range, right? You have the utmost complete faith that the ball is going in, that he's going to make the right decision. Where I think, just to compare and to give you what I'm going off of, in years past, when he would get into the paint in a certain place, whether it was too deep or even in that mid range, you could tell his shot wasn't all in one motion. There wasn't like pure confidence within the flow, his rhythm of his game. And on top of that, when he would try and go up to the rack, he would just look for the contact and look to initiate contact and look for the foul instead of looking to make the shot first. You're seeing night in and night out, he's looking to make that shot first, and he'll throw his arms up when he thinks he's fouled. But man, he does a really good job of trying anything he can do to make sure that shot's going to fall in.
He just hits some nasty ones,
He
too.
really does.
I mean, and he could fade away a little bit. He gets it high arcing over guys sometimes. His ability to stop on the move when he's pushing, just hit the brakes.
When you're that fast,
gives you whiplash.
That's what it does.
And so, yeah, I just think he is playing at such a high level. Field goal percentage, career high, right? Rebounding, his points continue to go up. He's in like 24 points a game. The free throw percentage is at a career high. And I think after tonight, he's probably right around 34-ish% from 3, an area he can get better at.
One of the things I noted down, just to make sure I remember this one, it was in that fourth quarter and on the offensive end, he was looking for his, and he had this nice in and out dribble, go up, off the glass, mid-range, and one, get to the free throw line. And everything about his move reminds me of these top-tier point guards that we talk about in this league, where you're just like, oh, shit, that's smooth, or oh, shit, that one's going to go in no matter what when he takes that. He's getting to that level. And I just am so happy that after, I guess, in his 6th season, that he has really started to figure that out.
I think my favorite thing about tonight's game, too, was both Fox and Sabonis came out aggressive.
Yeah.
And I think both those guys, and I know you want to have balance with your team right now, okay? And tonight, they didn't get a lot of balance because it was pretty much 3 guys carrying them. Keegan was 0 for 8, 0 for 6 from 3. Herter plays 18 minutes tonight. He just didn't look right. Missed some defensive assignments, missed some shots. It just wasn't his night. So those 3, Monk, Sabonis, and Fox, were awesome. But what I loved is Fox and Sabonis, go get some shots. I was looking at it the other day before the Minnesota game. De'Aaron Fox was averaging about 17.8 field goal attempts per game. Tied with Kelly Oubre. Fox, go get yours. Yeah. Sabonis, I've seen a lot of Sabonis games where he's only getting like 10 shots.
Yeah.
And look, sometimes he's so masterful at picking defenses apart. He knows how to pick his spots. But tonight, Sabonis has a season high in field goal attempts at 20. He has a season high in points with 34 points. He was 15 of 20. He also got you 11 rebounds and 4 dimes. 2 steals in this game. He also had 2 blocks. His defense has been pretty good. There are a couple times Collins got him. I think he's playing in foul trouble, so he's trying not to pick up his 3rd foul. But again, tonight, the 2 blocks, but there are multiple times tonight that he was doing a good job at the rim contesting. Now, where the Kings really get in trouble with points in the paint is sometimes in that pick and roll where Sabonis has to come up, and the help is just either late, not in the right position, or the Kings just don't have the length to really contest it. Yeah,
you see a few times when guys are either coming over the screens or just not fighting through hard enough, or the hedge on Sabonis or whoever it is. There's always just this miscommunication there at times. And just looking at his 37 minutes though, and saying there's those few times on the defensive end when someone gets him or whatever. It's going to happen in 37 minutes of play. Like, you're going to have these moments where it's a brain fart, or even you just mess up, or a guy just has a better move on you than you had on him defensively. All these things are going to happen. And I think for the most part, when Domas has a pretty consistent game, a locked-in game defensively. That's what we saw against this last game against Minnesota. You saw more of a team locked in defensively. In this game, you saw guys really understanding what type of impact that they could make on the defensive end if they locked in, if they got in those passing lanes, if they closed out the right way. There was a lot of good that was going on.
I haven't seen the deflections numbers for tonight's game, but they did have 10 steals. So back-to-back games where you have double-digit steals. They had, 15, which was a season high against Minnesota. They followed up with 10 tonight. And look, I know the Spurs team is not good, and it did not help the Spurs when Jeremy Sohan and Trey Jones left the game and did not return with injury. They're going to be a little banged up, and they're young. They're a bad team. I get all that, but like Morgan says, it's the NBA, and it's the Kings. We've seen them give up a ton of points to teams that aren't really that good. Points in the paint tonight, Morgan. Season high 74 points in the paint for the Kings, and Sabonis was just disgusting down there.
Feasting down there. I mean, especially in the beginning of the game, it was like, feed in the ball, let's go. That's all you need to do. And fortunately, that was happening, and they were capitalizing on that because they couldn't make an outside shot. I know we'll talk about their outside shooting, but truly what they were doing in the paint was so dominant. It was so fun seeing a team not be able to stop it. Now it gets frustrating when you see that same team on the other end have some straight line drives on the guards or just get into the paint just as easy. We know there's still a lot of flaws defensively. There's also some good individual defensive moments from the Kings, but truly what they were doing on the offensive end in the paint, getting in there to create. You saw Malik Monk being a playmaker, passing it out or dropping a little dime to the big that was rolling with him. Didn't matter where it was. They did a great job just being where they wanted to be on the floor.
Malik Monk, another big game for him. And I just love the energy he plays with. I understand it's chaotic. De'Aaron Fox's mom called into our daily show the other day, Lorraine, and we asked her, who's your favorite player? She said Sabonis. And Monk can be, but man, he's a little all over the place sometimes. I loved her honesty, and I think it's the emotion we all feel. We're like, what are you doing? What are you doing? That's a bad shot. But you look at the end of the night, the guy's disruptive out there, and the Kings have been so much more disruptive defensively the last couple of games. Monk finishes the game with 22 points. He had 5 dimes, 3 steals. He did it on 8 of 13 shooting. He played 32 minutes. He also 2 of 3 from 3, 4 of 4 from the free throw line. But I think what he provides so much of that is much needed, and when he is at his best, it is when he's attacking the basket, getting some looks around the rim, because it opens up everything. And then he's starting to play make. I'm getting choked up thinking about it. It was just a burp. But yeah, it was a really nice performance from Malik.
You're so right. It's hard to keep him under control when he starts getting to the paint, when he starts to play make. Teams don't know how to handle his chaos at times, right? Which could be a beautiful thing in moments, and then also something very ugly at times. Two big moments from Malik Monk I want to mention in that second quarter. It was another steal at this point by De'Aaron Fox. There's a few steals there at the end by the Kings. De'Aaron Fox, end of the second quarter, toward the end, had a steal, and then sees Monk up the court. Alley-oop to Monk.
How'd
Backwards
that sound,
jam.
though? How'd that sound?
Pirtle has the ball knocked out of his hands. Here's another steal. Tipped ahead. Barnes to Fox. Sets up the alley-oop. Malik Monk, a reverse over the shoulder, two-hand throw down, and the entire Kings bench exploded to their feet on the near sideline. 49-37. Defense turning into offense. 3 consecutive possessions.
That was a key sequence, right? Three steals they had during that stretch, in between that. Popovich had to call a timeout. That was I don't know how, that was one of the highlights of the year. But then Monk had one of a missed dunk that should probably still be on SportsCenter top 10, even though it was a miss.
No, because I hate when they do that for other people too. But I get it. We as the fans of the Sacramento Kings and Malik Monk.
I better see that on House of Highlights, Bleacher Report, because if he did that in a Lakers uniform, it would be trending worldwide. Like last year he did that. But the fact that he spun away from the defender, gets up, and almost murdered Pirtle.
Yeah, I was worried.
Dude, that was disgusting.
The way that he got up and ended up extending his arm, like no one was expecting. We're like, oh, okay, he's going to get up and like do his Malik Monk where he controls his body and finishes at the rim. He was up in the air and then decided to do something completely different because he was so high up there. Hang time.
Dude.
Tries to jam it on him. Gets the foul instead, though.
It was sweet. Mm-hmm. It was a really nice play. In fact, so nice. He had to talk to G-Man after the game because he was awesome, right? G-Man's conversation with Malik Monk.
The ball is just going in, man. So it opens up a lot of my playmaking when the ball going in for me because they don't know if I'm a shooter, drive, bound. And I just continue to make the right play, man, because Domas, Mezzi, all my teammates, man, they're great at finishing, man. So I just got to continue to read the defense the right way.
Couple of great assist passes tonight, finding Sabonis, and he was having his way in the low post. What kind of satisfaction do you get when you make one of those no-look deliveries?
Oh, man, it's lovely because next time my layup might be open because they playing the pocket pass. So it's lovely to have a big like that, man, and he's so unselfish. He's going to give you the ball back whenever, too. So it's just great to have him on the team, man.
How about the All-Star candidates? Sabonis and Fox tonight combined for 65 points, and they do it on 28 of 43 from the field. Wow.
All-Star, you said it, man. They got to be All-Stars. Them numbers right there just show you why.
Well, we'll find out, I guess, tomorrow evening on TNT. The announcements will be made as the coaches have been polled, the media has been polled, and they'll combine that with the fan vote. And there'll be injustice, I'm sure, if they don't both make it.
Oh, yeah, we're going to hear about it, man. I'm boycotting if they don't make it.
Let me ask you about, we've talked frequently this year about Keegan Murray, and tonight, one of the rare nights when he could not get a shot to drop. And unfortunately for him, he came one game short of equaling an NBA rookie record for consecutive games with a three-pointer. And for him to struggle like that, how do you encourage a young player?
Oh, man, he's a rookie, man. He hasn't been here that much, man. He doesn't know that the ball not going to go in sometimes, man. And it's just like that. So I stay in his ear. I try to stay in his ear as much as I can to let him know that the ball don't go in sometimes, man, and just continue to play because it's going to find you. Just like he got to the free throw line and seen the free throws go in. I count that as a bucket. So yeah. I just try to stay in his ear to keep confidence in him.
I mentioned earlier in our broadcast, you bring so much charisma, so much energy, so much joy. I said it doesn't make any difference if it's at the hotel, at the meal room, if it's on the elevator, if it's on the bus, if it's in the locker room, if it's here. How much fun do you have playing this game?
Yes, sir, man. It's my life, man. I love this. This is my job. I love doing it, man. If I ain't play basketball, man, I don't know what I'll be doing, man. So I just go out there with a smile and just try to have a smile the whole time I'm out here.
Well, certainly one of the highlights of the first half, 3 consecutive defensive steals that led to alley-oop, and your old Kentucky teammate Foxy found you for the reverse over-your-head throwdown.
Yes, sir. Yes,
My goodness, that was sweet.
Yes, sir. Felt like the old days, man. Felt just like the old days.
Congratulations. Thank you for your time.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you.
There's G-Man with Malik Monk after the game, and we're just showing us some pictures from the Kings locker room. Malik Monk is beyond fired up to win the Defensive Player of the Game chain tonight.
I love it.
Look at the emotion he has for winning. Like, this guy's amped up. He's fired up
This
after
is after
winning that.
playing a full basketball game and doing everything that he did in that game and still having that much energy.
One of my favorite things is how over the top this shit is getting.
Yes, it's perfect.
They're on the road. They have a fog machine in the locker room with purple lights, lasers. It's a party after a win.
What are we doing? You have 2 jackets.
I bought a cool jacket, man.
Yeah, and one lights up and one
doing?
sparkles. We could use some like fog machines and lights.
You want to invest in fog? I'm down.
Let's put it on the podcast card. I mean, you probably put that jacket on the podcast card. And it's designer,
it's
like you said. Yes.
Amazon
Giorgio,
jacket. Yeah. Giorgio Germain. I think it was.
Oh, okay, got it.
Yeah, maybe we do need a fog machine.
It's not easy, or it's not hard to convince Deuce to add more of that shit in here.
Let's give some love to the people watching us live right now on YouTube and Twitch. If you're here, make sure to hit the thumbs up button. It just helps the channel grow. That's all. It doesn't make me feel better. It just helps the channel grow. We should get that going. Also, make sure to hit the subscribe button as we inch closer and closer to 10,000 subs. We're getting so close.
Oh my!
I can't wait.
Every time I see that number, it's surprise. You guys are just amazing. Thank you.
I want to get back to Malik Monk for a second because I do think that's something, for as frustrating as he can be sometimes with some of the mistakes.
Yeah.
Man, when he is just clicking, and it's not just knocking down shots, like we get so caught up in makes or misses. It's about like, all right, what else are you doing out there? He plays the game with such joy. His energy, G-Man was just talking about his enthusiasm. The enthusiasm chat, it does not actually, that stat does not show up on the box score.
Sure?
Oh, wait, he encouraged his teammates 8 times tonight. Like, that doesn't show up, right? Like, he matters, right?
Yeah.
So I think there has been frustration from the standpoint. It's like, God, he's not knocking down the threes. 30% 3-point shooter at times. But he's finding other ways to impact the game, not only with his playmaking, last couple of games with the scoring, wins the Defensive Player of the Game award tonight because he had 3 steals, and I'm sure he had many deflections. He matters so much to this team.
Yeah, he's one of those guys where his presence is so valuable. And, just taking some of my notes during that fourth quarter, and a lot of it has to do with Malik Monk. And what's crazy about that is you and I are starting this podcast talking about the 2 All-Stars, Domas Sabonis and De'Aaron Fox, and then De'Aaron Fox becoming Mr. Clutch in that fourth quarter, while Malik Monk is still finding ways to make an impact while De'Aaron Fox is still getting his. I look at that corner 3 toward the end by Malik Monk. I forget who found him there, but then Monk with a pull-up jumper when he made it 114 to 105. And it was, again, you didn't feel like, no, don't take it. When he's grooving, when he's flowing, let him cook, let him go. And his teammates do that. They encourage it. They're like, all right, do a little more. Take it away.
You mentioned Fox in another fourth quarter.
Yeah.
10 points in the fourth quarter. He also had 3 assists in the fourth quarter. So another significant stretch for him in this game. Keegan Murray tonight. Is this just one of those nights? I mean, I think it just happens in the NBA. You just don't make a shot. I watching him, I didn't feel like there was a bad shot he took.
No.
And then he had the stretch where he got to the free throw. Remember, he tried to dunk it tonight.
Yeah.
And then that led to a Herter 3 in the corner, right? Remember?
Yes, it was like a
an
pass
assist.
dunk because it was wherever and however it went off the rim or the hand or whatever. So assist.
He was 0 for 8 tonight, 0 for 6 from 3. Got some great looks. They didn't drop, right? Like,
I liked his looks, but Deuce, you also look at his stat lines. I mean, he was rebounding. He was still
7 rebounds for Keegs.
Looking for guys. I mean, obviously only 2 assists, but still he played 27 minutes because Mike Brown still felt like he was getting something out of him. But the other thing I recorded tonight was when Mike Brown called a timeout, he was pissed.
Yeah.
Keegan Murray allowed his guy to get deep into the paint and not rotate over the right way. Mike Brown spent the entire time out what it seemed like the entire beginning of the timeout, speaking to Keegan Murray out on the court. You got to be here instead of here. And then you got to do this instead of this. And he's just making all these movements, talking about his feet, talking about where he is in the key. Those coaching moments, the substance that comes from those timeouts, and especially for a rookie, are so big. And I just love that Mike Brown is giving him that development, that experience right now.
Yeah, it's good to get coached during a game. And I feel like 20 years ago, the coach calls a timeout and then puts the player on the bench, you know? And he's a young guy. He's a smart guy. And I think Mike Brown expects him, because of how impactful he has been throughout his rookie year, to be more engaged in that and not make those mistakes. So when he calls timeouts, like, Keegan, this is what you have to do. Like, you cannot just dig in. You're giving up you need to be at the elbow. You need to rotate to the elbow to stop that drive, force the pass, and you still have enough time to get back and contest the three. That was really interesting to see that happen in game like that. And I do like how the broadcast highlights it and shows, like, because it's not like a negative thing, right? Like, you've seen coaches like get into players like, oh, that's kind of rough to watch.
Drama.
But no, there was no drama. Keegan accepted it, and I thought it was great coaching. It happened in the second quarter. That was at the 3:26 mark. Spurs cut it to 53-46, and Keegan just needed to come over to the elbow to stop that drive and help.
And I know it was still a close game at that point, but I think because they were playing the Spurs and because they had the lead and the confidence that they had in their team, he was able to make that move, to take that timeout and to be like, nope, I'm going to focus on this. I have a good enough coaching staff and good enough players to figure out what they need to do in this huddle. We're going to, make sure that this doesn't happen again.
Shane in the chat, Malik Monk's biggest fan, says Jordan, Bryant, James, and then Malik. What I love about Shane, I don't think he's joking.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, some people are like, oh, let me make a funny joke. No, he is dead serious. I've never seen someone love a player as much as Shane loves Malik Monk. And then Dan, the Monk fan who called and said he was moving to Sacramento, he abandoned ship. We've lost him.
Why?
He was getting frustrated because he felt Malik Monk should be playing more. And he's like, you know what? I can't watch this team anymore. They're making so many mistakes. And he just left.
No way.
Yeah.
Interesting that he's saying that. And just really quick, too, because we were talking to Anthony Slater today on our daily show, and I asked Anthony Slater about Mike Brown and his rotations because he's covered him with the Warriors and everything. And he was saying, he's probably doing a lot of what Steve Kerr does. And he doesn't want to screw with his second unit, even if there's a starter out. He likes to keep that same flow. And I remember there was a game that Terrence Davis started in place of Kevin Huerter. And we were like, why isn't Malik Monk starting? Terrence Davis hasn't even played a few games. TD stepped up, did fine and everything. But yeah, it's nothing against the player. If anything, it's like shining a light on this player and how much value they have in that role.
Interesting looking at the minute distribution tonight. We'll talk about that in a second, but let's welcome back an old friend. Tonight's podcast presented by our friends over at rate.com/Sean Stanfield. Look, if you need a mortgage, you're looking for a house, believe it or not, this is actually a good time. We got big news today. Mortgage rates have dropped, Morgan.
Mm-hmm.
Lowest levels in 5 years. It's not a bad time for buyers, Morgan Reagan. So why would you not use Sean Stanfield, right? You have all the talking points right there. Why would you not?
Oh, my God. Seriously, though, Sean, it's fun because I was talking to him the other day about mortgage rates and everything, and it was like a little confusing, but at the same time, he was telling me so many things, different things that Guaranteed Rate can do for you. And if you have any questions, how they can help you in the best way possible, especially right now.
Well, he has access to all the tools to make your purchase experience really simple. You can get loan options, neighborhood, market, and current rate research with just a few clicks, or all from your phone or tablet. It's really easy without running your credit or asking for personal information. So go on over to rate.com/Sean Stanfield to connect with Sean and his team and experience and access the tools that will make your purchase or refinance experience positively different. equal housing lender, subject to credit approval. NMLS ID number 349707, company NMLS ID number 2611, NMLSconsumeraccess.org. Thanks so much to our friends at
Guaranteed.
Right.
Guaranteed.
Right.
Good to have Sean back.
It
on
is.
board.
It is.
It's
I
been
know.
a minute, you know?
It has. And I mean, Sean, huge Kings fan, just a great guy. So yeah, we've had listeners reach out to him. So if you guys need more information too, you can always hit us up and we can send you his contact as well.
Yeah, so do that. He's the best. Also, if you're in the live chat, please be sure to hit the thumbs up button. I mentioned we got to talk about minute distribution tonight. So the starters, they leaned on him heavy, right? For the most part. Fox played 38 minutes. Sabonis played just under 37. Barnes, 36. By the way, HB, 14.6 rebounds, including a big 3 late. He was 5 of 9, 2 of 4 from downtown.
Solid night.
Malik played 32 minutes off the bench, just under 33. Terrence Davis, we saw Terrence Davis again, only played 9 minutes. Davion Mitchell played just under 10 minutes tonight. Trey Lyles played 20. Chimezie Metu played 11. We did not see the small ball Trey Lyles at the 5 tonight. They went with Metu again, but that experiment was short-lived in the second half. Metu blew a couple of assignments, and he got the yank, and then they went back to Sabonis. I don't know. Like, I don't completely understand it, you know, and I'm not trying to, like, make it that big of a deal. Metu played 11 minutes. He still had 4 points in there. He had 3 rebounds. I just think there were some mistakes out there for him tonight. And again, I understand, and this is where, like, some people go at me about this. I want him to work on his 3-point shot.
Yeah.
If Chimezie Metu is going to make it in the NBA long term, I think the 3-point shot has to come, right? You have to be able to knock it down consistently. Coming into tonight, he was shooting 20% from 3. He took 2 tonight. There's just no point. And maybe they're telling him, hey, if you're open, shoot it. But I think you made this point last. You don't have to shoot it when you're open. You don't. Like,
it doesn't make it the best shot.
The defense sometimes wants it. They're like, yeah, we'll give him that.
Yep.
Well, go ahead. And I know at some point you have to knock him down, but I just think we've seen the sample size even going back to last year. It's like, it's just not his game at this point. And until that gets refined or improved, maybe he should scale that back.
I like how you just worded that. Refined or improve, right? Sabonis wasn't just going to keep on taking threes in a game if he didn't make sure that they were going to start falling. He even had one early on in this game, that now that we're talking about a big and a 3. But with Chimezie Metu, I think that's what made him special at first was, he could hit a little bit of an outside shot, even if it wasn't necessarily from deep. Now you're seeing from deep, that shot isn't falling. You're not seeing the confidence there. You're seeing that he's someone who's athletic and can play above the rim. Has had his moments in this season, but then when it comes to his defense, the breakdowns sometimes are so bad. You know that a team's like, just go straight at him, go straight every single time. He angles his hips, he angles his shoulders, gives you a drive, an angle to the basket, and it's just so frustrating to see because you know Mike Brown and the coaching staff are telling him one thing and he's just not staying disciplined with it. So yeah, I don't know what to think about it when he's one of the first ones coming in each time, but obviously it's something that we're probably going to see some change with.
Terrence Davis played, I mentioned, just under 10 minutes. And I actually thought he brought some good energy tonight. He was pretty active, but he didn't get a lot of run either.
I'm with you. When he came in, I was like, okay, let's go, TD. You know, he's always ready. I love that they can depend on him. But at the same time, does that make you look at the trade deadline and go, that's someone who can add value to a move, to a trade? And I hate talking about trade stuff after a win, but I think as we get closer and closer and you look at some of these guys and who's not playing or who Mike Brown trusts or doesn't trust, those are just things you want to make sure that you're keeping an eye out for.
What do you think Davion Mitchell would have to do to get consistent playing time on this team?
Poor guy. He would have to grow.
I think it's...
You know?
Okay, I was being serious.
Okay.
I didn't need a joke. He needs to grow.
No, and I was joking because obviously that's something you can't do. But I was kind of being serious in the sense of like, because of his length, I think he's not seeing the time that I truly believe that he deserves. I think he still adds so much value with his on-ball defense, with disrupting offenses, especially in the half court, that sometimes I don't get it when we see him play like this, but I try not to complain about it after a W.
It just seems like they trust Malik Monk more with the ball in his hands to make plays. I mean, we see that pick and roll. Malik Monk has been really good. He's good at finding guys.
The playmaking.
And he gives you a little more offense where like, but I also think like, I don't feel like Davion's got a legit shot to even do that. You know, I think that's just kind of what they roll with Malik Monk out there. You know, and tonight, Davion plays like 9 minutes, and I don't know. Maybe it's because Malik Monk's like, oh, he can set guys up, and he's liable. He's a guy that can get you 20-plus in a game, and we need some buckets. Where Davion has not proven he can knock down his shot on a consistent basis. I don't know. It's an interesting time for Davion Mitchell and the Kings because I think he has a chance to be a really good player in this league because of what he does defensively. And I think he's the type of guy similar to TD is they're kind of rhythm guys. Like they need to play. Like, and Davion would get in there tonight, like 3 minutes and out. 3 minutes and out. And as a player, I just don't know how you find any sense of rhythm being able to run a team if you don't get a little bit of a leash out there.
This motion offense gives you so much freedom, right? To run so many different actions off of anything that you begin with. And sometimes when you are not starting with the ball, or even if you are starting with the ball, you're passing it off right away. You're making sure you're running through that first option that you see, and you are not looking to make and create the first play. And I think sometimes with Davion, he's looking to, it's not being passive. If anything, it's being disciplined and running what he's supposed to run, but he's got to change. He's got to click something with his mentality when it comes to connecting with the bigs, whether it's like pick and roll, set me a pick, or like it's, hey, roll off this one. I'm going to find you. You don't feel that chemistry sometimes with him and others. And I don't think that's necessarily his fault. I think it's the limited minutes on the floor.
It's that, and he doesn't have the ball in his hands all the time.
Right.
And I think someone in the chat, who was it? I don't know. Davion does have a tendency at times to over dribble. You got to make the decisions quick. And maybe with Monk, Monk's going to, sometimes too quick out there. You go, oh my God. But it has worked for the Kings in a lot of ways. Wilson and Chess says Davion should watch tape of Lowry and Brunson on offense, screen navigation, and drawing fouls. He's so good at the rim too. Not sure why he only attacks once per 3 games. Yeah, the Brunson one's kind of an interesting, like, guy to look at, right? Kind of a smaller guard who can get after it a bit.
Quick, low
by
to
the way,
the ground.
Jalen Brunson about to be an all-star too.
Hell yeah. Deserved. Well deserved. Good for him.
The Mavs just let him just go?
Yeah. They don't like multiple all-stars. They're like, there's only room for one.
It's weird how guys like leave and like start playing better.
Woo!
No, it's just I don't.
It's a different style of basketball over there.
Jalen Brunson is a dog.
He is.
That you watch him last night against the Lakers?
Davion Mitchell told us over the summer that he's one of the most difficult guys to guard in the league. And you saw it right in front of your eyes last night. You saw why. So, but I think that's a great point about Davion and just seeing how do they lift and get to the basket. I mean, Davion has done a good job with that, getting his guy to go one way and then going the other. But I think sometimes he doesn't play make off it enough when the help is there. The second line of defense is there. It throws him off of, oh, should I go strong at the basket or should I pull out and go somewhere else? And that's where he over dribbles.
Yeah, so Mitchell only plays 9 minutes in this one. Next up for the Kings.
Dun, dun, dun.
Friday night. That's going to be, I can't wait for this game.
Are you excited for the game or night chat?
Both.
Hell yeah.
Well, of course
it's
I'm
a Friday
excited.
night. That's why I'm like, I love Friday night chats.
Kings go to Indiana for the Pacers. The first chance they get to see Tyrese Halliburton for the first time, right?
Possibly. I'm going to clip all of these and send them to Tyrese and it'll be like the ultimate heel, Deuce Mason.
No, don't do that because then I get blamed if he drops 30 on the Kings. I don't want that blame. I do not want to wear that. It's a friendly talk. We're just friendly shit talk.
I know.
I like Tyrese.
I love it. I love it. And it's so true. Like, poor guy was he was killing it in the like he had 0 turnover. Oh, this was what happened before he came in and played the Kings. 0 turnovers and like 40 assists in 6 games or something, whatever it was, 3 games. And then he comes in and plays the Kings and does not show up. It has some turnovers. Just, all the emotions were flowing. Now, Indiana on Friday, he's on his home floor. It's a second night of a back-to-back. He might be coming back tomorrow. So if he comes back tomorrow, who knows if he'll even play on Friday, right?
I'd be surprised if he skipped out on a Kings game.
Okay.
I would.
Okay.
I don't know for sure, but we'll see. But it's going to be an emotional night, right? We talk Halliburton first, but for Sabonis, this is the first time he's playing in Indiana since the trade, and it's almost been a year since the trade. I mean, you think about him going back there. There's so much made about Halliburton come back, and he was here for like a year and a half or whatever.
Yeah.
Sabonis spent significant time in Indiana, played playoff games. He made 2 all-star teams. This is where he established himself as a legitimate NBA talent. I imagine the emotions are going to be there. I'm sure he's going to be extra fired up. He didn't get to play last year when the Kings went there.
And I hope when it is there and when he is fired up, it's contained. I think sometimes that's the most difficult part about it is, is just like when you saw it with Tyrese when he came back to Sacramento, when it's like it can overcome you. And I know we go, these guys are NBA players. They get lots of money to make sure they know how to tone down those emotions. And it's like, yeah, you're human. It happens once and you're going to do it sometimes.
But do you also think he's like the type of guy that is like
emotional?
It's been a year. I don't really care about going back there. I'm just like, do you think there's a little extra for him?
I think he would say that and want to feel that. But at the same time, deep down, he knows that that's not true. Like you got to think about when you see an ex or you go to an old like there's an emotion that just comes up, whether it's good, bad, or you don't care, it's still there. Like there's just something new that's there that you're feeling. That's like, oh, this is off. Go away. Go away, feeling. Go away.
If you guys do want to chat with us, by the way, you can hop in the Discord chat if you want to do a voice chat. Also on Twitter Spaces, you guys can request to chat. And then you can also type, of course, in the YouTube chat. Jim was mentioning this. So is Josh Richardson a fit for Sacramento? I think that's an interesting name for the Kings, right? Like, he plays defense. He's got a little edge to him. A vocal guy. He looked really good tonight. He had 19 points. He had 8 rebounds on 8 of 13 shooting in 29 minutes for the Spurs. He's on an expiring deal this year.
Ooh.
He's a guy that's kind of been around.
There's some rawness to his game still, but at the same time, I understand like the intensity, the aggressive nature that he brings. Like He is
29 years old. He's played 38 games with the Spurs this season. Spent time in Boston, Dallas, Philly, Miami. Yeah, he just really hasn't found a home since the Sixers traded him in the Jimmy Butler deal. But that's interesting. Yeah, I mean, those are the moves that we're talking about at this point. Like, all right, who are some guys that maybe you can get that aren't massive names that won't cost you a ton? You just have to be smart at this deadline.
So I forgot to tell you, I have some. No, I don't know if this is inside or if it's kind of out there. Anyway, remember how Nate Duncan? Oh,
is this breaking news at this hour?
Well, I'm just gonna kind of talk about it with you, okay?
Okay.
So I'm not gonna mention all these names or anything or all details, but just in case. But remember Nate Duncan leaving Sabonis off that list that we all saw?
It was a few people. 2 of his co-workers left him on the list. He had Sabonis as a wild card.
So when Domas got his first All-Star selection, Nate instantly tweeted out how Sabonis was the worst All-Star pick of all time. Okay? So that's where the beef started. And then It led to some back and forth, whatever. And then you thought he'd be done. Then he went at it again for the second time when Domas was selected, and he just went in like full heel mode. And so now you're seeing him left off that list. And I was like, there's no way he's going to do it for a third time. But if he doubles down.
Yeah. Well, here's my question. Why does Nate Duncan have I thought there was going to be like a personal thing that happened. Why does Nate Duncan despise Domantas Sabonis?
So my point is, think about the Wally Zerbiak thing with Tyrese Halliburton.
Yeah.
It was just weird. There was nothing personal about it. Sometimes people just talk to talk. And I'm just curious if that was one of those situations, but every year that Sabonis has been in the conversation has doubled down on it.
That's weird.
Thank you.
And by the way, Sabonis has never played better.
Thank you.
If there's any legitimate NBA journalist who says that Sabonis is not an all-star, then you either hate the guy or you literally don't pay attention.
Yep.
If you want to push on the Fox isn't one, I think other guys are above, but he's a candidate. I could listen to that.
Sure.
I think he's an all-star. I think he's been doing it pretty consistently this year. He's taken his game to another level. And by the way, the Kings tonight, after this win and the Memphis loss, 2.5 games out of the number 2 spot. Oh, I love how weird the West is.
So weird.
What's up, Coach Nick? Are you there? Okay.
Oh, Nick, you're
not talking into your phone again.
Move your hand, Nick.
How are you? Is that better?
It's better now. Sources in the chat say you actually made an appearance on the Royal Rebounds podcast before us tonight.
Yes, I did.
Okay, you're very happy about this. So, Nick, you got to remember, we created you.
Oh, my.
We made you
Don't
into
you
this
listen.
icon and celebrity, and your first appearance on a podcast is with us, and then you go to the others.
He goes on Cowbell Talk too.
Well, that's cool. It's all cool.
I mean, but it's podcasting. So he makes his
He's
rounds.
doing the rounds
and then he comes to us. We're like chopped liver now.
No. I feel like you betrayed me, Nick. I'm gonna be honest. You go to other people first. We gave you this platform, and this is what you do to us? You just slap us in the face?
He's laughing in your face.
Honestly, Nick, I love the fact that we have so many Kings podcasts going on, Royal Rebounds, you mentioned Cowbell Talk. Nick goes in every one of them. I also had someone in Discord tell me about Cowbell Talk tonight, that he went in there and asked them to buy him a pizza. He's running the same material.
Dude.
He's like a comedian that goes to multiple
comedy clubs?
Yeah, comedy clubs. Yeah. I don't know why I couldn't think of that.
Wait, and now he's going to get a free pizza from everyone
It seems that way.
This seems like a scam, and I don't want to be a part of it.
All right, Nick, explain yourself.
Oh, now he's too good to talk on our podcast,
Now he's faking the cough. His voice is sore from talking on all these other podcasts.
Oh, God. Okay.
All right, Nick, what do you think, man?
Well, everything. I do want to say that my Kings won tonight. Hey, why not light the beam?
Why not light the beam? It was a good one.
We got to do the fire laser thing.
Oh.
Arm the laser.
Arming the laser! Begin laser ignition! Fire the laser!
What?
Yeah.
Was that not good enough for you? What the hell was that look? Huh?
It was good. Why not light the beam? Why not light the beam? Next stop is Indiana.
It is. What do you think of them?
Oh, we're gonna beat them, and they're playing tomorrow against the Lakers.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are.
They got a back-to-back game, so we're gonna have to see what happens.
We're gonna have to see. Okay.
Good.
We can win tomorrow, and right now, Phoenix and Atlanta is playing right now, and Phoenix is getting blown out by the Atlanta Hawks.
I don't even worry about those peasant teams behind us, Nick. Yeah, you're right.
Hockey. Cocky. I hate you.
They're getting blown out right now.
Yeah, it's like Game 7 all over again for them.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, Nick, thanks for checking in, man.
Hey, why not Why not beat Indiana? Why not win all your road games?
Why not, Nick? Sleep dreams.
Sleep beams.
Sleep beams.
I should say sleep beams, Morgan.
Sleep beams.
Gotta give me a free pizza, Morgan.
Okay,
get out of
good.
here.
All right,
Hey.
there's Nick checking in tonight on Night Chat. It's amazing. Nick's turned into this celebrity. You know, he's in high demand. He's just bouncing around doing the tours.
He's like, whoever gets me the most free pizza, I'll come on your podcast too. He did call into our daily show.
He did. He's been everywhere, dude.
He literally is the best.
Oh man. Yeah, there's some weird stuff happening in the NBA tonight. Memphis got a big night from Ja Morant, but the Blazers come back and beat them. I was rooting for Memphis in this game.
How come?
Well, because I'm to the point with the teams that are kind of behind the Kings, but it's so cramped up.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, I want those teams buried. I want Portland, I want Minnesota, the Lakers. I want them buried because to me, it's like, well, Memphis is going to be there. Like,
Yeah.
they're going to be in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Same with Golden State. I still think they're going to be in.
Okay.
Oh,
yeah.
But they
Even
lost
though they
tonight.
lost
They lost in
to
overtime
Minnesota.
tonight. So tonight, Dame dropped 42 points. He had 10 assists and 8 rebounds. They beat Memphis 122-112. Danny Green making his return. His Grizzlies debut tonight. He had 3 points in 10 minutes. Ja had 32, 12, and 9 in the loss.
Yeah. Dame, once again, just playing at a super high level. And on top of that, translating into a W, right? I mean, that's where...
The bad news for them is they lost Jeremy Grant in this game. He had a concussion. And I saw that Nurkic only played 2 minutes, so I'm guessing he got hurt too.
Okay.
I love when we go over games we have not watched yet, but that was interesting to see. Also, we saw this score was insane tonight.
Oh my God. What happened?
The Celtics beat the Nets 139-96. How insane is that, Morgan?
I'm so confused. Like, I'm looking at, obviously, without watching the game, this is fun. Without watching the game, Kyrie dropping 20. I mean, that's just far too little, right? But playing only 31 minutes. So the game must have just been over.
Oh, it was over early. In fact, I think in the first quarter, it was like 41-13 at one point.
Oh, shit.
Boston hit 26 of 54 from 3 tonight. They hit 26. Tatum and Brown each were 7 of 12 from 3.
Dude,
that's insane.
That is. I saw that was a big game too. That was like a...
Of course.
Yeah.
The Kings don't get nationally televised games for some reason. Utah hung on. Stupid Utah. You were rooting for the Raptors tonight. The Raptors lose again, man. What the hell are they going to do? Like, you're hearing stuff about Nick Nurse and maybe his job being on the line. OG's not playing for the rest of the road trip, and Nick Nurse was like, well, that surprised me.
Oh, yeah. That was...
There's some awkward stuff going on.
The disconnect is super weird, and sometimes it is time to move on, but at the same time, too, Nick Nurse is the type of coach that any organization would love to have. So... interesting that it's not working right now and for a little bit now.
So stupid Utah wins. They're just hanging around, and in large part because Walker Kessler, what a story.
I know.
17 points, 14 rebounds, 7 blocks tonight. Kessler blocked 7 shots tonight. This guy was thrown in. Apparently Minnesota didn't want to give him up in the Gobert deal. They still did.
Wait, is that what it was said? They didn't want to?
Yeah, that they were like, yeah, we really didn't want to have. And
they're just saying
Ainge
that
wanted
now.
it. And
if that's the truth, that's why.
Just think about Minnesota for a second. Yeah. By the way, Gobert doesn't play it for Minnesota tonight. Cat doesn't play, and they beat Golden State. But if you don't make that trade, you come back. You still have Beverly, who's kind of like the heart and soul to that team, right?
Uh-huh.
You still have Vanderbilt, and you draft Kessler. Yeah, you got Vanderbilt. They need a...
What were they?
What the hell?
No, like what the... I remember, I will never forget this. When we first talked about that trade, I kept saying, no way that this is just like this blind weird trade. There's something I don't know. There's something that's going to work. I'm probably some basketball idiot that just doesn't understand what's happening here. Nope. It is what it is.
Dude, 17, 14, and 7. And by the way, it's not like just like one game he's doing this. I mean, he's having an impact. He's blocking shots.
Yeah.
He's getting rebounds. That's big time stuff. I'm interested to see what the Jazz do at the deadline. You know, like right now they're kind of in the thickest things, but you know, you've heard noise about the Clippers maybe trying to get Conley or Fred VanVleet.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the Fred VanVleet angle with the Clippers is interesting because Kawhi played with him in Toronto. So
it's all very interesting too when you look at the beginning of the season and where you thought Utah, not only what your expectations were, but truly everyone's like, all right, tanking for Wembanyama in Utah, in San Antonio, and like what other place. But it's the complete opposite. I mean, they're winning so much, but at the same time, even if they were to break things down and take things apart, you still have too many good young players that you probably don't want to move if you're Danny Ainge.
Also, the Warriors losing in overtime tonight. It's like, hey, the Warriors turning it around. Then they lose a road game to Minnesota, who doesn't have Gobert or Cat. Naz Reid, 24 points, 13 rebounds, 4 dimes tonight.
Glad.
D'Angelo Russell had 29 points before fouling out of this one against his former team.
I was trying to follow
Steph, 8 of 21.
Some things that Anthony Slater was tweeting out about the game, and he said D'Angelo Russell with 14 fourth quarter points. That was just at one point of that fourth quarter. Overtime for the Warriors. I mean, they were up by double digits, I believe, going into the fourth or whatever, and so they just lost a double-digit lead at some point again, and it's just like their breakdowns they're not championship level,
but
right?
they'll be in the playoffs.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So. I agree with that.
OKC had been really going in a good direction, right? They lose to Houston tonight, 112-106.
How many games has Houston won?
That's now their 13th win.
Woo! All right.
25 points for the vet, Eric Gordon. Maybe he's playing in his final game. Tari Easton, the rookie, at 20 and 13 off the bench. He did it in just 19 minutes. Also, we should note that Jalen Smith did not play in this game.
Okay. Huh.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Just looking at some of that's interesting. If I don't feel like it's one of those games where they really found their momentum. They're going with it now, and the Kings are going to have a tough time against them.
And I know I combined Jabari Smith and Jalen Green. I meant Jalen Green.
I thought you did, and then I was like, wait,
I was looking at Jabari Smith
said?
and looking at Jalen Green. Thanks for correcting me more.
Well, because I didn't see Jalen Green in the starting lineup, and so then I just was like, oh, that's who he's talking about.
And then the game that Nick referenced, the Hawks are destroying the Suns 125-84, but it does sound like they're getting Devin Booker back soon. So that game is almost over right now. So kind of a weird night in the NBA. I'm just glad the Kings aren't being the weird team that's losing games like this. Yeah. And hopefully they can keep going with this road trip coming up Friday.
Yeah. I always enjoy after they, lose to a team. You see a team like the Warriors lose to that same team in Minnesota, obviously. They had that split in Minnesota, but still, it kind of validates at times like, yep, it's the NBA. Weird things can happen. But what type of team are you right now? And I think the Kings have been doing a pretty solid job showing what type of team they can be as where they are right now in the West.
What a time.
Yeah, dude. This is great.
We're now looking at a team in the Kings that just play like 500 ball the rest of the way. And they've been playing above 500 ball, obviously, for the season. They're going to get 45 wins. Could they get higher than that? I mean, it's just crazy. It's
purple jackets, light up jackets.
I said, could they get higher than that? I didn't say, oh, they're going to get higher than that. You act like I'm getting too confident with it. Morgan, this was game 50 tonight. This is not like a small sample size. You can get over this whole 5-game thing. The Kings are a good team. We talked to Anthony Slater today on our daily show. And I asked him, do you think, if you're making a prediction, are they in the top 6? He goes, yeah, I think they're in the top 6. I don't know if they're going to be 3. But if we sit here at the end of the season, the Kings aren't in a play-in and they get a playoff series.
Holy shit.
What a win this year has been.
Huge win. I mean, huge, especially if you're going to the end of the season, you're saying you're in the playoffs and you had 2 All-Stars. I mean, can we throw a parade?
They might win the Pacific Division.
The Pacific Division?
We did an interview, I remember a few months back with Combo, who's like, yeah, do you think, who do you think, where they fall in the division? I'm like, I mean, couldn't they win it maybe? And then I backtracked off to like a coward.
I was looking at the entire Western Conference because I'm not used to anyone ever talking about just a division. And they're like, no, the Pacific Division. I was like, oh, wait, don't do this too often.
Do you understand that we are probably a month away? Probably like a month away.
From knowing?
March 1st. Right? Yeah, March 1st. April. We can start talking about like, hey, who do we want them to play in the playoffs?
That's what I'm saying. From knowing, if
they're not going to clinch by then.
But like, I guess you could get a feel depending on what teams drop off. But
you know who I want in the first round? I'm going to say it now.
Why do I feel this all makes me nervous?
No, you know who I want in the first round?
Who?
Who do you think I want in the first round?
Dallas Mavericks. Really? Yeah.
Make that bum Luka nice and tired.
But Christian Wood
he may not be on the team by the deadline.
That's a good point. But he would be difficult to guard, and that's where they lack.
And who's guarding Sabonis? Who's guarding Sabonis? They don't have a guy that guards Sabonis. Yeah, I think the Kings could advance the second round. That's crazy. I can't.
Come on. Now you just get there first, bro. Like, come on. Like, you take it. You every single time take it. One earlier today on the Daily Show, he was talking about we should light the beam now. It is 11 o'clock in the morning. Kings are going to win tonight. I said, slow your roll, bud. Let's not do that. And now we talk about the playoffs, and then you start talking about the second round of playoffs. Clinch.
I'm just saying, based on what I have seen this year, that I think the Kings could win a series against the Mavs. That's not ridiculous. We live in a world of sports conversation. You can have opinions on things, and guess what? I will be wrong on things. Shocking. I will be wrong.
Yeah.
But it's a sport. We're just having fun.
We are having fun, and I'm just having fun telling you, dream on.
If you're in the chat, we love you so much. And I appreciate all those who participate in our poll question. It was, call it. Will Fox and Sabonis be all-stars? The options, yes, they will, and they deserve it. And no, just Sabonis. 89% of the people who voted tonight say yes, they will both get in, and they deserve it.
I love it. You guys, it's really cool to see that there's that many people with that much confidence. Because they do deserve it. They've proven it night in, night out, what they're capable of in this league, the best league in the world. Incredible.
I know we both think they should be all-stars.
Yeah.
Obviously. Biased a little bit too. But do you think they both get in? Like, honestly, let's just establish this. Sabonis is getting in the all-star game.
Yeah.
Yes?
Yes.
Do you think Fox gets in?
And as a reserve counts.
Yes.
And then yes.
Then yes. I mean, the start, you're
Yeah.
on the all-star team.
Yeah.
I mean, you're talking about
injury. I'm sorry.
You mean injury replacement?
Thank you. Injury replacement. As a reserve, yeah. Like, as a injury replacement, at least. If he doesn't make it as a reserve, he'll make it as an injury replacement.
So he's going to be on the team.
I say yes. And I was not saying that in the beginning. I remember Kyle Draper in the beginning of the season was like, De'Aaron Fox is going to be an all-star in our preview show. And I was like, well, if he's an all-star, then we're making the playoffs. Like, that was my number. I was like, there's no way. There's just no way. The West.
It is pretty wild to think, though, like, come tomorrow night, and then Friday the Kings play the Pacers. Come tomorrow night, we could be talking about Halliburton, Sabonis, and Fox being on the all-star team.
That is wild.
And one of the teams is going to, like, whoever's picking the teams.
Yeah.
Isn't it LeBron and
Giannis?
Giannis?
Yeah.
For sure?
I'm pretty sure.
Okay, whoever the captains are. Do you have to put Halliburton and Sabonis on the same team, right? To troll Kings fans a little bit?
No. I don't think they're thinking like that.
Yeah.
They're thinking of their buds, but they should. Giannis is the type that would think like that. If he cared about, or if he actually was like keeping track of the dynamics around the league.
Yeah, I just think it's really cool that is likely going to happen, that you're going to have the two guys involved in the trade, all-stars, and then the other guy who ended up staying as an all-star.
Will we find out on our daily show
It's around 4 o'clock, I think, unless Shams leaks it.
If they both get it, let's jump on emergency pod.
Yeah, I say go on no matter what.
I love
Emergency
it.
pod.
I love
Absolutely, guys. In the chat, Rory says, remember when Mo used to always say, I'm just being realistic about the Kings winning like 35 games. How happy are you about being wrong on that?
Dude, you guys, I'm so happy. Like, how it's the truthfully, you think about what I was saying. I said 37. I said around 37 games this season. I was just more worried about the West. But I also did not expect the Kings to play like this, right? I didn't expect the Kings to have 2 possible all-stars. And I appreciate that so many people were just like vibing and feeling it and wanting it more than ever, that they're like, no, this is the year. And it's great. I'm seeing it happen right in front of my eyes, and this is the best thing that could ever happen to any of us in this city.
Just looking at this, by the way, looking at the standings.
Yeah.
Right now, as it stands, they have a 3-game cushion on the Mavs. They play the Mavs twice coming up here.
Huge.
Those are big games, dude. Those are massive games.
When do the Mavs play next?
The atmosphere in Sacramento is going to be pretty insane for those games, I think.
Yeah.
Mavs are in action. Well, they're stuck in Dallas right now because of the ice storm. I don't know if they can travel. They're supposed to play New Orleans tomorrow, but I think they're stuck. So their next action is scheduled to be Saturday when they start a long road trip against the Warriors, and they go the Jazz, Clippers, and they finish off with 2 games in Sacramento.
Love it.
Back-to-back in Sacramento to finish a road trip.
Love it. Love it. Love everything about it. I can't wait. We got to make sure we're watching some of those games.
Oh, for sure.
And studying up on this squad as we head into those 2 games.
Yeah. One other thing I was going to mention about Fox. So if he makes the team, you think he starts getting a little more respect from officials? Because everyone talks about like, hey, these star players, all-star.
No, and I'm saying it out loud. I'm not saying it to you. I'm saying like that.
Do you think it's respect? And it's the narrative does change on players once you make an all-star team, just in general. And I think Fox will start getting more love around the league for how he is playing.
I agree. He didn't get his first free throw until even the 4th quarter of this game. But I don't know. I think he wasn't getting hit all game either. Like, I thought it was a pretty fairly officiated game, if you want to call it that. But yeah, he didn't get his first free throw until then. But at the same time, I do believe these are the moments when you build your resume, you build your reputation also around the league with coaches, players, and officiating crews.
One note, it's so weird. I am drinking this non-alcoholic IPA.
Yeah.
I can't believe how much it tastes like a beer.
I've tried it. It's really good.
It's crazy.
It's really good.
Like, I've been sipping on this. I was like, God, I had a beer. Should I have another one? I'm like, I haven't even had a beer. This is a non-alcoholic.
No way.
Yeah.
What a great feeling.
It is really
give you that vibe that you're like drinking.
Especially on a Wednesday night, you're having one. You're like, oh,
I love that especially it's a Wednesday night.
Well,
especially
it's
because
Wednesday.
it's a Monday night, it's a Sunday football
Oh,
night.
don't start AA says vegan beer. It's just like LaCroix. Dude, no, it's called Athletic Brewing Company Run Wild IPA. I got it at the Sac Co-op, and some guy I was looking at it. Classic Deuce, by the way.
Oh, no.
So on Sunday, I'm like, I'm off. I want to watch the NFC Championship game, AFC Championship game. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to get a non-alcoholic beer, and I'm going to get beer. So I went with both.
Nice.
Because I want one beer.
So you feel like you're just
instead of it,
drinking.
You don't want to turn into like, I can't hang anymore. I can't. A 3-beer day puts me out for a couple of days.
Now you got a daily show too. Like,
I got too much going on. So I'm like, I'm looking at all the beers, and then this guy he grabs the one I was looking at. I'm like, hey, how legit is it? Like, is it really good?
course
Because I
you
wanted a
asked.
breakdown. He goes, dude, it's really good. You should try it. And I'm like, I'm in. That's all I need. He was emphatic.
Are you guys best friends now?
I know. And then he told me about another beer, and I got that too, and it was good.
He's an influencer.
Yeah.
That's amazing. That's cool. No, I'm glad that you're enjoying that. I think that's I don't know. It's the way to go when you have a busy schedule, but you also want that like delight of just being like, I'm sipping on a beer right now.
No, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
I'm so happy for you.
I'm also in this awkward phase right now where I'm contemplating growing out my. You guys might be able to tell I'm growing out my hair a little bit now.
I like it.
And it's in the awkward phase, like where it's like, what do I do with it? It's not long enough to really do anything
Dude,
with it.
I thought it looked good. Truly.
I mean,
no.
I make
So,
almost any haircut look
Come
great.
on, man. I just want to compliment you once. Get in, get out.
Cut it. Yeah, DZ, I think I should cut it again.
No.
Or just let me try it out a little bit.
Do a skin fade on the sides with this.
I don't need you to try to act like you know barber terminology at this moment because
Okay.
I can tell you right now you don't.
Okay, I asked my hair cutter. I only get my hair cut. So whatever. And I was asking him about men's haircuts and everything. And he was saying that a skin fade is like a piece of art and that like the people that were doing it to your head or like artists.
Yeah.
So
I respect barbers.
So then
a
why
lot.
are you acting like I don't know what the
I
hell
know,
I'm
but
talking about?
it just seemed like you go and get skin fades all the time as if you would know. That's like me talking about getting my brows done.
It's just like talking about beauty. Like, how many times have I told you, hey, your pores are big. How about you put on some skincare?
Okay. Go get your lip injections, you bum.
Hey, oh my God. I've never gotten lip injections.
Not yet.
Well, I would.
Not
I
yet.
would
And
love-
guess what? I hope you do, and I hope we do a live podcast so we can all make fun of you in the chat. We can be like, oh, your lips are all bruised, and we can be like, oh, what a.
I said I would love to get lip injections. No, but I wouldn't. I wouldn't like. I would never do anything like crazy.
Sean
you know?
says, imagine Deuce with long, wavy locks. No, dude. No. These kids in Sacktown says, I've been cutting my own hair for 12 years, saved so much money. It's not worth saving money on it. I'm sorry. I'm getting my hair cut. I'm not, unless you do you have a license? It's so disrespectful to barbers, or stylists to cut your own hair when you don't have that skill level. Now, if you're doing like a basic, I just shave my head, but don't pretend like you know how to actually cut your hair.
Yeah.
There's no, I'm sorry. There's no chance.
I'll tell you this. I can tell now when a dude gets their hair done and they cut it themselves. And not to say one's good and one's not. I mean, it's look at me. I don't get my hair dyed. I have grays. I do all that. I mean, it's whatever. You know, you got to do what works for you. But I will tell you this really quick because you brought up injections. I am teaming up. I'm going to be an influencer for an esthetician place. And they're like, what treatment do you want? I'm like, let's laser off my leg hair. So I'm going to get some leg hair lasered off. What? Think about it. I don't have to shave my legs.
It is
That's
really
going to save me time.
Yeah, it's strange how society works, right?
Why?
Like it's just somehow what year did it become a thing where like women had to start shaving their legs?
No, because women don't have to start shaving their legs, and I need everyone to know that. And
okay, we're going by societal standards, Morgan. That most women shave their legs. I'm not saying they have to. I'm not being that guy.
Oh, I know you're not. No.
So stop for a second.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, when did that become a thing in our country where, hey, women shave legs? You know, I used to shave my legs in middle school.
Really? Yeah. No, it goes back to dark, bad times.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't even want to get into the history of it. It's not good. And that's why for me, it's more like I don't have to shave my legs. I just feel sometimes better when my legs are shaved. But I'm cool with my legs being hairy and not shaving them during the off season.
I would give anything for you to rock some hairy legs on TV.
Oh, I totally would.
No.
I have.
Are you like, if you grew out your leg hair, would it look like super hairy?
No, that's the thing. And that's why, like, it was like, I don't care today. Can't really, sitting at the desk, what are you going to do?
Kevin the Chess says, I knew this year would be the year Mo would be wrong about the Kings.
Happy about
even
it.
the most optimistic of people. I think I remember some people in our chats during the offseason when we were talking about the over-under and how ridiculously low it was. I think 34 and a half
It was like
at
32.
Yeah, it went really low. We both of us were like, what?
Ridiculous.
But I think the most optimistic people I remember who were serious about it did mention close to 50. And those people, like, you could call them optimistic, but they look like they're on track. I was in that, like, hey, I think they like 45 max.
Yeah. You and I would always laugh in your face and be like, that's so optimistic. But I'll tell you guys this, because someone else was like, Morgan's always a downer. No, I'm not. What did I put on our vision board? 41.
You did. And you had, who was dead center in your vision board?
De'Aaron Fox.
It's always good to remember this every month or so. We remember your vision board you made before the season.
Like, you guys, it was like my energy was in the right place. I wanted all of this to happen, and it's starting to go down.
And you put enjoyable basketball in there. You also put farewell to our incredible 16-year tragedy. So we can make fun of Morgan's prediction, but her vision board, what she put out in the universe, was the opposite.
Thank you.
Maybe it's proof that vision boards do work. Morgan, that's history right there.
I know.
You crossed out the old. You put the old team that was back there. You crossed out, like, forget the past.
Forget it.
This is a new team. We're chasing 500. We're going to play enjoyable basketball. De'Aaron Fox, front and center. He's going to be big this year.
Dude, J-Lo's on there, and she's still married and happy, too. Like, if she can do it, so can the Kings.
Dude.
Let's go. Get that ring.
Like I said.
That ring.
And I hope you guys really soak this in. Just enjoy the journey. I know there are many people who listen to us who maybe don't remember the team that was, above 500, winning seasons from 98 to 2006. By the way, the only winning seasons that have ever happened in Sacramento's 37-year history have been from 1998 to 2006. This Kings team is on pace to make history.
That's so cool. Dude,
as one of the few teams
crazy
outside of the Rick Adelman era to be above 500 in a season. They've only made the playoffs 10 times during this stretch, Morgan. So my whole point is, I know it's been a roller coaster of a ride the last 16 years. And, this team can still be frustrating at times. They're not perfect. But it's so important to enjoy nights like this, where it's
a win.
Yeah, you beat the Spurs.
A win.
But your two guys, Fox and Sabonis, played awesome.
Yep.
And, hopefully we reflect on this road trip. That was an awesome road trip. And you got a big game against Dallas. But enjoy the rise, because there's nothing like the rise. Next year, I'm going to tell you right now,
you already have higher expectations.
It might not be as fun.
Yeah.
It might not be as fun as this.
Yeah.
And it's because of the
losses
expectation.
will feel worse.
Yes.
Everything.
If they get off to a mediocre start, people are going to freak out, right?
Don't forget
because
this.
of last year. So remember these moments. Enjoy it. Your team is 29-21 after 50 games. They're number 3 in the West in a weird year. Even if it wasn't a weird year, they'd still be a playoff team in the West.
Yeah.
That's what's exciting right now.
I'm going to find a company that will
make those shirts,
print off my vision board. I'll find a company to do it.
Shout out to Ben from Australia who donates money. He says, you guys talk about Mike Brown and your Keegan Murrays. Delhi and his Aussie culture, resetting skills have paid the bills for Sacramento. It's time to get Thibault to level up.
Ooh.
Yeah, Thibault, last time he was in Sacramento, was taking pictures with Dellavedova and all the Australian fans who came to see both guys play.
Super cool. No, that is really cool.
Yeah.
Time for Thibault to level up. We'll see.
Let's see here. Sean's like, what I'm going to remember? Oh, no. Sean says, I remember all too well. Bradley Schmidt says, I got to go with Malik trying to kill a guy on House of Highlights piece. That's great.
Hell yeah.
Auction the vision board for charity. No, we keep that. I think we keep that.
It's history.
I'm anti-charity tonight.
Just because you don't want to auction.
Joe says, you guys are young and growing. Above 500 playoff bound. Enjoy it. Next year will be even better.
Aw, that's a great perspective too.
Yeah.
I like it.
Well, guys, we'll be back live tomorrow morning for our daily show on Sacktown Sports at 11 a.m. We're going to be on 11 to 2 talking a ton of Kings. Brendan Nunez from Kings Beat, Kings Pulse will be joining us live in studio.
Hell yeah.
We're going to be talking more about the Kings, any new developments with NBA trade rumors. So make sure you check us out on YouTube. I'll drop a link to the YouTube channel there. So you guys know that you can check us out there every day, Monday through Friday from 11 to 2 p.m. Pacific time. We love you guys so much, but we gots to go.
You all have a wonderful rest of your night. Thanks for being here. See ya!
Deuce and Mo, Deuce and Mo, Deuce and Mo.